Should I accept a job that I have not proved I have the skill for? Recently, I reposted a Richard Branson quote on LinkedIn that caused some debate. The quote implied you should take an amazing opportunity if it was offered to you. Moreover, you should take it regardless of as if you were sure whether you had the skills. His quote ends, and then learn how to do it later. This idea caused some debate from two different points of view, the hirers and the applicants. This time we discuss accepting a job that you may not have proved you have the skills to do. Okay, let's start at this from an employer's point of view. One of the comments I got to the repost was that they were worried about employees overcommitting. Basically, their view was that you shouldn't accept a job you don't know you can do. If or when you fail, the employer has the cost and time it takes to replace you. Now, some of this depends on the job. I'm not, for instance, going to accept the job as a brain surgeon because I don't know how to operate. However, most of us are knowledge workers, and as such, we're in a different world. In this type of world, aptitude can be just as important as skills. As Branson implies, skills can be learned. Drive cannot be. The times I've grown most as a person is when I've got a job that I was not actually ready for. Giving others this opportunity is one of the great rewards of being a leader. It also encourages diversity of thinking and approach in your workplace. Okay, now let's look at this from the employee point of view. Okay, I don't think you should be confused. Your mission is to create the best life you can for yourself and your family. For most of us, that means getting the best job we can. Now, what the best job means is different for all of us. For some of you, it might mean getting the most amount of money you can be paid. For some, it might be status. And for others, it may just be following a passion or something that's important to you. So while it's good to care about your employers, it's really not your primary focus. That means you should go after a role that you want and try and get it, regardless of whether you think you really are the best qualified candidate. Again, if the role requires some specific skill, you're probably going to be able to get that skill as you go. Now, if you think the skill can be learned on the job, go for it. Okay, what goes wrong with an approach like this? Okay, hiring people is not something you get 100% right. I know I never have done. And you can't know everything about a company before you start. No amount of references or due diligence is really going to be perfect. We all make mistakes. So be willing to accept that people make mistakes and that you're going to make them yourself. Offer someone a role they're not ready for. And if they have the right attitude, it's going to work well. Go after a role that stretches you and live with the risk. Building great teams and having a great career is always about willingness to take risks. Well, the bottom line is this. They say nothing ventured, nothing gained. That holds true for the risks you take and the opportunities you pursue as much as anything.